Happy Sunday, everybody. We're doing a meal prep again for this week. We're changing it up. We're doing some more spaghetti squash. So we got to put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper on each one. We're doing two sides of them. Thanks to Petey Pablo for the spaghetti squash. Petey overworked you great. He gave us some spaghetti squash. So we are baking them probably for an hour or until they're soft. So it'll probably take about an hour and a half for right now. We're getting some bacon prepped up, getting that nice and crispy, along with some ground beef. We're going to start doing that. We're doing a couple different dishes. We're going to do kind of like a spaghetti lasagna with pepperoni and ground beef. Then we're going to do a spaghetti squash with bacon, a little bit of garlic and butter.
Parmesan.
And Parmesan. So that will be our two meal preps. And then if we have anything else, I think we're going to do some cookies as well.
Chicken. And
we're going to do some chicken. With the leftovers from Thanksgiving, which we made the
cream of mushroom.
And a little bit of cream cheese in the crock pot. Make it easy, simple, at the same time it'll be good. So, and we've put it in the ground beef to make that marinara sauce. And then we got the bacon going over here. So we got the chicken breast in the crock pot. We're gonna add some onion powder, some actually ground garlic. So we put a bit of garlic, onion powder, and then Santa Marina seasoning. Let that cook for a little. We're gonna put that in the garlic powder, and then the leftover cream of mushroom soup we have. And you just put that in the crock pot, and let that come to simmer and boil and cook and all that good stuff. And then we're gonna go ahead and put the cream cheese on top of that, little cubes. And put that in the crock pot for an hour or two until the chicken's on nice and cooked.
We're gonna slow cook it though.
So it's gonna be a slow cook. So it'll be probably an hour, 2 hours, depending on how it goes.
Probably a long time. Probably have it in for a while.
Yeah, long time, while. Okay, all right. So ground beef is done with pepperonis. I'm gonna be adding to make the marinara sauce or to make the spaghetti sauce some crushed tomatoes. These are the least amount of sugars that we found. They have 4 total, 2 sugars and 1 dietary fiber. So
at least in the grocery store.
In the grocery
in the cupboard.
In the cupboard we had. So to do that, I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic pepper seasoning with a little bit of salt. And then we're going to taste it, and then I have a little bit of a Italian style seasoning. So, and let that cook, and then once we'll taste it and see how that tastes. And if we need to add more, we can always add more. I always tend to not add so much and then play with it after. So, let's stir that around. Get that sauce going. And deliciousness. I got a couple chicken breasts boiling too. The reason I'm boiling them just to have them for this week, in case we run out of food. We have a couple boiled chicken breasts. We can make chicken salad. We can make chicken with spaghetti sauce or chicken with veggies, whatever we have. So I always trying to make a little bit extra in case we run out. Sometimes we've been running out and it's kind of shitty. So, but yeah, that's the sauce. Spaghetti squash is in the oven. It's cooking there. And yeah, bacon's done. So just little by little, we're getting there. So guys, back at it here. So spaghetti squash is cooked for about an hour. It's nice and spaghetti. Hence spaghetti squash. Marinara sauce done. So all we're gonna do is pull it apart and throw it in the sauce. So we finished putting on the spaghetti squash in the sauce. We're going to put some Parmesan cheese in there. Like about a cup. Mix that around. Get that mixed around good. And then we got a baking dish that we have here.
Spray it.
So we sprayed the pan. Now we got the bake we're going to put in there. just flatten it out. Nice and even. Put a little bit more Parmesan on top. And then finish it off with some mozzarella on top of that. And we're going to put that in the oven for about 10 to 15 until it's golden brown on top, depending on how long the cheese takes to melt and nice and golden brown. And that is our spaghetti squash bake. So the other spaghetti squash we got with the bacon that we cooked. We have the bacon, spaghetti squash. Just add a little bit of butter and make it simple for this one.
We put the bacon, we left the bacon grease in the pan.
Oh yeah.
And the butter we're using is a
Garlic and herb, garlic gold butter. So take about a tablespoon of it. We're gonna get that hot. Taste it a little bit. Add a little bit of Parmesan. Stir that around. And that's another dish right there. So the bake is done. It was in there for about 20 minutes. It's nice and golden brown, just the way we wanted it. Let that cool off for a little bit. That's how we wanted that.
spaghetti
So now
squash.
we've got the spaghetti squash with the bacon and the butter.
We
and
added a little
Parmesan
bit
cheese.
more garlic to it.
Now we're just gonna toss it around a little bit. Get all the flavors get together. And marinate. And that's our meal prep for the week. Spaghetti squash, that's what we had this week. Kind of low budget, so we had spaghetti squash.
Chicken's still in the crock pot.
Chicken's still in the crock pot. That's taking its time, so that's still cooking little by little. It's slow. And that's the meal prep for the week. We should have enough for the 5 days, and you know, that's good. That's it. That's all we have today for you guys. I have a few questions to answer for you guys from Thanksgiving one that I'll be answering. Any questions? Feel free to answer away.